Howdy folks, Jerry here. Hey, I want to do a short on a sea story. It's not a super long one and not a super funny one, but it came to mind because one thing, there's a lot of towns that, or a lot of states that have the same town names. And Gloucester, or Gloucester, or however you say it, there's a lot of them. Gloucester, Mass, and two or three others that I've heard, but I don't know the states. But just recently. So it made me think of this Gloucester, Massachusetts, because the ship I was on, my last ship, USS Doyle, we were home ported in Mayport, Florida. It's a good duty station as far as the Mayport. Ship was pretty good too. And we had a commanding officer, and commanding officers have a wide berth on deciding where they go and whatnot, as long as there's fuel available and they're not in an op sked. So for local ops, they got a pretty wide berth. And I think this one skipper we had, I think he had a girlfriend up in Gloucester, because we pulled in there one time for a festival. We were anchored out, actually. And one of the stories I told about a guy pumping CHT over the side, I'll tell you about that later. Not in this video. But anyway, we'd been up and down the East Coast a couple times. We've been to Gloucester a couple times over a few month period. And then we get back to port, and it was a Friday, and the captain had a captain's call on the flight deck, and he's telling everybody, hey, we're going to be in port for a long time, 6 weeks, maybe 8, depends on what the Commodore wants, blah, 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 going on. And then we go into our respective divisions, and my division officer, the OXO, he's like, all right, Chief, you heard him. We're going to be in port 6 weeks at least. I said, I heard him, sir. And he says, I want max liberty and max maintenance. We've got to get as much PMS we can get done that needs to be done while we're in port. I said, sir, do you believe in it? That's what you just heard. You just heard the skipper. This is what he said. I said, okay, all right, sir. I'll develop a plan on Monday, and we'll rock and roll. So I had duty on Saturday. We had all our sweepers and everything done, and we all knocked off. Go home, except for the duty section. I come in real early Saturday morning, get a decent parking spot, and there's a gate guard from the ship on our section of the pier, and it's Seaman Jetter. And Jetter's he's all pissed off. I said, what's going on, Jetter? You ought to be in a good mood. You get Liberty Call here in a little bit, and you get the whole weekend off. Goddamn, Chief, ain't you heard? We're getting on the way next Wednesday for Gloucester. I said, I know. I'm not surprised. Bye-bye. You go now.